Welcome to After the Cell, Mental Health Beyond Bars. This is a podcast that highlights stories from individuals who were formerly incarcerated, how they were able to work through their mental challenges. Once they came home, how were they able to rebuild their mind, their body, and their spirit. Today, I'm sitting with BDR. Welcome.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and we're going to just walk through his journey. So, BDR, before we get started, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Was mental health something that you focused on in the past? Things like that.
Well, you know, I grew up in the area, the metropolitan area, and I've been here all my life. You know what I'm saying? So, and just being a part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? With clothes, music, just being heavily entrenched in the culture, you know, through my family from the area, metropolitan area, from here, Maryland, some of Virginia maybe. But as far as the mental health journey, I really probably didn't start that until incarceration a little bit, but I wouldn't say I dug too deep into it, but I did have different ways to try to keep my mental sane.
Got you. Now, walk me through the first time you got in legal trouble. How did you feel? Did you feel like you had a good support system that was there for you mentally, physically, somebody that you could always like lean on?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. The first time I got probably in legal trouble, I was preteen, probably 12, 13. And, you know, I grew up with my grandparents, so I always had a good support system, you know. They, you know, you need to get your life right, Junior. You need to stop doing this, stop doing that. You know, you need to be in the streets type of stuff. But they always kind of was with me. They never gave up on me, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. So I think the first time, probably like 12 or 13, probably some like breaking and entering stuff. And I got away, and one of my homeboys at the time, you know, we was young, he told on me. So the police called my house, and my grandpa was like, what? He was doing what? You know what I mean? Took me down to the station, and, you know, that was early on. That was early on, you know, starting out, kind of.
Yeah. So with you having that strong foundation, you know, grandparents, they're like heavy and like heavily involved. So what made you want to like step out there? Was it you were just trying to fit in? Was it maybe like wrong person, wrong time, you know, like wrong crowd, just hanging around? Like what was it?
Like I said, I think it was more culture and, you know, I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of people that grew up with their grandparents. So when you grow up with your grandparents, it's an age gap. You know what I'm saying? It's an age difference. And my grandparents was working and stuff like that. So I had a lot of time. I was a latchkey kid by the time I was maybe 7 years old, like second grade, and I was coming home by myself, nobody home type stuff. So I ran with my friends a lot. You know, you run with your friends, like you said, you know, they want to get into this and be devious and throw rocks at cars or whatever, you know, the case may be. And, you know, we just did it. It's like, it's our way of having fun, kind of not understanding the severity of some of the stuff we was doing. We knew right from wrong. We knew it was wrong, but it was like, seemed fun at the time. But then once you hang with a certain crowd, you start getting introduced to more people from that crowd. So he might be one way, and you might think oh man, he bad, he do this and that. Then other friends might come around and know him, and they be way worse than that. You know what I'm saying? You take a liking to them, and everybody get together. You just end up, before you know it, years pass, you just been in it.
Yeah. So. Now, you mentioned that you started getting in trouble when you were like in your preteens, so like 12, 13. So tell me about the time when you were locked up, you was in the back of the police car, like, oh shoot, I'm going to jail. Like, what were you thinking? You were so young.
Yeah, that was that time. Like I said, my grandfather had to take me down to that time because I got away. But the time when I got locked up, the first time, like by the police, I probably was maybe 15 years old. It was a drug charge. I was riding with my homeboy. You know, we was young. You know what I'm saying? We was all in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He had a car. We had to go buy cars from the auction at this time. So we ain't got no license until we old enough. So we riding around, and the police knew him very well because he just keep getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm riding with him, and they see us, and then he like, oh man, the police. Like, so he like pull over so he can pop because he ain't got a license and we get out. And they just like came from everywhere. I'm trying to throw my drugs. I'm selling weed. He was selling like different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they found it, of course, and they was like, yeah. I mean, us sitting on the curb and we was in the cuffs, and they was like, oh man, you don't know who this is? I ain't gonna say his whole name on here, but this so-and-so. This the fourth time we locked him up this month. This is who we riding with. And I'm like looking at him like, what? So anyway, they locked me up for possession of marijuana. You know, marijuana wasn't a slap on the wrist counter back then, but we was juvenile, so it wasn't nothing.
Right.
But yeah, so then I get locked up and they take me somewhere to the police station, and they had to call my peoples, and you know that's always the walk of shame, like damn, you know, disappointed, like pop, you know what I'm saying? Pop,
Yeah.
man, it's kind of what. Even though I was in the streets, that kind of saved me from a lot of stuff. Me thinking about how my grandparents gonna react to.
Right.
So some stuff I just wouldn't do, like say somebody about somebody I know, my friends, like whatever, carjack somebody, something that I felt like was like, that's crazy. I ain't doing that. Like I'm going the other way, cause I'm like, hell no.
They ain't got nothing to do with
yeah,
me. I'll
nothing
see
to
y'all
do with me.
later.
Yeah, like man, popping would kill me. Like,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's how that was.
So when you catch your first charge for possession of marijuana, what was it like that first night? The doors is closed, it's cold, it's dark, people
Well-
yelling.
Well, as a juvenile, I ain't go through that just yet. It's like, you know, you get locked up, they charge you and fingerprint you, do all that stuff, then they call your parents, so your parents come get you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I actually got out, and then, like, that was the first time, like, I had to go see, like, a therapist, counselor, whatever it was. Like, they sent me and my grandpa, like, y'all gotta take him to do this, because this is part of, like, release. You feel
Right.
me? So that's what we were sitting there talking to, I want to say like a therapist or something. And she was the first person I heard say about the age gap thing. She was like, you know, because I guess she was asking them questions and they were saying like, we don't understand why he's acting out like this or doing this. And she was like, you got to understand, it's an age gap. You know what I'm saying? You got an age gap between you and your own parents. It's an age gap.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Your mother had you at 18, 20. It's 20 years age gap. But if you with your grandparents, it might be 40 years.
40, 50, 60,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like, he got to find stuff outside of y'all to do to have fun, so he think, and that's the stuff that he's doing. So that's what I learned about that. But that came a little later, that actually being in, which was maybe the first time I went in, I was 17 when I got some time. And it was 3 days after I graduated high school. I was already on papers for, I think it's type of assault, I believe. But I was having dirty yawns, and you know, they giving me yawns, but I ain't care at the time. I ain't thinking nothing. I was still smoking weed and doing that type of stuff. And then, so 3 days after I graduated, I had a court date on June 17th, 1998. I graduated June 14th, and then I went to court, and they stepped me back, saying, we're gonna basically put you back as dirty yawns. So that's when I actually went in, and I was like, you know, like, damn.
Yeah,
And Papa
it's
know what to
real.
do now, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Papa
Usually they
can't
can
help
say
you
it,
now.
yeah, like, it's like, dang, you're in court, he go with me to court. They like, yeah, we're gonna give him 60 days, something, rehabilitation hold, something of that nature. And I remember them just, you know, coming, putting the cuffs behind me, and look back at my grandfather, he just like, you know, just put his head there like, dang, you know what I'm saying? But, like, as you were saying earlier, see, my grandfather, he always was supportive. Like, he always supported me, like, even being in there, him coming from the military, I guess, like he's a Marine, whatever. So when I used to be locked up, because I did a couple different little times, but he always wrote me and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because he used to be like, I was in the military and I know how I feel not to get no mail, that mail call. And,
Right.
I guess in the military it's the same way. People stand around and they call mail and something. So he wrote me, he's always writing me like once a month. So he was dead, but definitely you feel like, damn, like I ain't doing this no more. You know what I'm saying? When you going
Right.
through it, you like, I can't go through this no more.
Exactly.
You get separation anxiety, like everybody gone. It's summertime at the time, I remember, like, damn, everybody probably at home, having fun. And
Having a
you know
good
what I'm saying?
time.
I'm
Oh,
in
it's so-and-so
here, like,
birthday. They probably
yeah,
out right now
I'm in here
partying. Yeah.
behind. So like I said, that was like a little 3 months or something.
And that's good that your grandfather was always like there as far as like the writing you, because you know a lot of people they'll do it for like the first week, first 2 weeks, and then they're
Right.
just like, all right, back to like regular life, real life.
yeah.
But the fact that he was
That's what
like
happens.
pretty much consistent.
Yeah, he was consistent.
Shout out to UG Pops.
yeah, he's a
That's
type
great.
it too. He's a type it. He's a type
yeah.
that is like, you know, type. Oh, yeah, man.
That's good. That's good. So seeing that as far as like your grandfather being that firm foundation for you, and then once you did, you know, the 60 days, 90 days or whatever the case is, did that click in your head like, dang, he's the only person that I really have riding for me, or your grandparents, both you know, grandfather and grandmother.
Yep,
It's like, all right, I gotta stop. Like once I get out, did you decide to like still run the streets, or were you at that point like, all right, I'm a little bit older now, I just graduated, this is real life. Like walk me through that process.
Yeah, that process was more like, yeah, like I said, when you in there, you feel like I'm done with this. Like I ain't kind of gonna, you know. But your mentality, it grows to the point where like there's a part of it. So
Right.
I'm saying like this come with the streets, basically.
streets,
so
yeah.
it's like all right, that wasn't really nothing. So when I came back out, like 3 months later or something, yeah, you know, I got right back to it. Like it wasn't really nothing. It was kind of like, all right, right back to it. But this time, I was kind of like, cause before I went in, like say, I was getting it. Like I told you, I was on house arrest. I was on probation. I mean, probation or something for the charge I had. But so I was like, this time I'm on house arrest, so I'm moving kind of funny. I can't really leave the house like that. So people coming like to my house, my grandma's house, and I'm like selling weed at the house a little bit. And they kind of knew what was going on. So one day, I guess I was in night school too. So I went to school. They checked the room. My grandfather checked my room. He found a bunch of weed, and he was just like, "I told you I'm bringing this stuff in my house." Then he found a gun. You know what I'm saying? The day I graduated, he found a gun, and that's when he was like on Minister Society, straight up. He was like,
Yeah.
"Junior, you got to go."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like straight up, he was like, "Man, you gotta go." Found a gun, blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Man, where my gun at?" Then he was like, "I gave it to the police." I was mad. I'm like, "Man, what?" I
Why would
was
you do
going
that?
on. I gave it to the police. Like,
Yeah.
but it was crazy. So I ain't stay home for them couple days, and then I went to court. That's what I'm saying. Me and him went to court, and I got locked up. So when I came back, I kind of had my mind made up. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do at this point. So I'm just not gonna bring it to the house. Like, I'm not gonna live here. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm just moving. But you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I did. I just kind of came back. You know what I'm saying? Been around people for a minute. But then I just ran the streets, and I just stayed other places. You know what I'm saying? But I'd always come back and check on my grandparents, and you know what I mean? They was always there for me. They never was like, "Don't ever come back in here."
Right.
Because then, like I said, the day I got locked up, I called home. I'm like, "Yeah, Pop, like when they give you the phone call, once you get set back," and he like, "I found a thing under your bed too." I had another gun. But the gun he found was a handgun at first, the day I graduated. Then when I get locked up 3 days later, I guess he go check my room again, and I had a rifle or a chopper, whatever you want to call it, under my bed. So he was like, I found a thing under your bed. So I'm like, she's talking about the paintball gun. I'm trying to like, I got nothing. He's like, Junior, I was in the military for 13 years.
I know what a paint gun is and what it means.
I know what Winchester bullets are like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was kind of cool. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna give it to your brother." I was like, "All right, cool." So that's what I'm saying. When I got out, I felt like I can't be taking them through this, you know what I'm saying? So I just like moved on. Like I ain't gonna be in here and be doing, you know what I'm saying?
Be doing all of this, yeah.
I got my mind made up. This is what I'm gonna do. So I kind of try to have that much respect for it.
Yeah, well, that's good. At least you were that aware of like, dang, these be like my people's like,
Yeah.
because it could have went so much further. Police could have been building a case against you. They could have raided the house. Like, it's just so much more that like goes into it than just like getting locked up.
We was beefing. Like,
People
shooting
up the house.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all types. I
Yeah.
mean, I thought about when you get to sit down and like you in, so I'm thinking about all that stuff. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That kind of guy, you know.
Yeah.
So that's when I came out, like I said. But to answer your original question, like, no, my mind wasn't changed enough to stop at that time.
To stop at that point, yeah. Which actually leads me to my next question. You know how like when we're younger, we're like, oh, people are like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer. How is it seeing that like, you know, people who you actually grew up with who might have taken like the other direction as far as like I don't want to say like the right or wrong path, but a different path in life versus it's like, dang, it's just me and these group of guys and we're just all running the streets and then you got your homegirls and your homeboys that actually went off to college, you know, did something with themselves. Like how did that eternally like, even though you don't think about it right then and there in the moment, but at some point you in the shower, it's like, dang, or you laying down that night like, dang, I should have went this. Like, how did that make you feel seeing those people take a different course in life?
I never really felt a way about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't feel a way till like I got older, like now. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, I could have did this or this. But at that time though, like I said, I was so engulfed in the streets. Like I was happy for somebody, like, cause I got some of my partners and all that went to school or was working since we was 16. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my man Beezy been working the whole time. Like he was the first one with a kid, and he was the first one with a job. He was working at CVS, and then he got a Library of Congress, had a government job. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is like one of my closest friends. You know what I mean? But it didn't deter me from what I was doing. I ain't feel certain, but like I should have. Till later.
Should have done that.
I should have went to school. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like it's a part of it. I'm gonna be the best at this. You know
Right. And you're very successful. Shout out to Project Purpose for sponsoring this podcast. Thank y'all so much.
I mean, you know, at that time I just feel like I'm gonna be the best at the streets and what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? So that was the mindset. Even though I always had people, like I said, I had a good support system, whether it was friends, family. People just always tell me like, man, get out the street, you know, man, you know what I'm saying? You're too talented, you can do this, you can do that. But you know, like I say, once you get too far gone, how they say, like you can't see the forest from the trees or whatever. Like you so in it that you feel like this is the only
This
way.
is the only thing I could
Yeah,
do.
right now,
Yeah,
this
this is the only thing I'm good at.
Right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's how I
Now, I
felt.
kind of want to piggyback off of like a question that I asked earlier in the show. I talked about like, was anybody there for you? Now, I know that when you're in jail, they do have those programs like therapists and psychologists to come in. Was that program available to you? Did you ever utilize it?
Yeah, the last time I was in, like in the feds, they do have people you can go talk to, and especially like around the holidays, they actually come, like the counselors, the case managers, they come on a unit and say, we know this time of year is hard for everybody, but the suicide rate go up around that time of jail, around
Yeah.
like Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that
Thanksgiving.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
So they say, you know, they offering services, you can go down and talk to blah, blah, blah. But like mostly all year round, I did this thing, they had this thing called movie therapy. And that was one of my favorite jumps. I forgot the dude who used to run it, he was real cool though. You know what I'm saying? He was a real cool dude. And basically we go in there, like say it's like every Wednesday or something. It's like once a week. You go in there every Wednesday, you be like in a little, almost like a little classroom, and he set the TV up and he bring different movies in. So like for instance, one week he brought in, used to be a lot of different jumps, some of them no names, but they was all like good. But like one week he brought in like Concussion. So just an example, so he brings Concussion, you sit in there and watch it. And then he asks you a couple questions. He gives you like a piece of paper with the questions on there about would you let your kids play contact sports, or how do you feel about contact, blah, blah, blah. And you go back and you answer it, and you bring it back next Wednesday and y'all discuss the movie y'all saw. You know what I'm saying? But it was called movie therapy, that's why I say that. And it was a great outlet.
Yeah. I like that
ain't
idea.
miss
That's
one.
pretty cool. Yeah,
I ain't
that's
miss
pretty
one. I stayed in
cool.
there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, stuff like that.
That's
definitely.
good. That's
That I
good.
actually did myself, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I never really went to see like
An actual therapist, like
or a
inside or
psychologist.
outside as well.
Either.
Either. Yeah.
Nope.
Now, I want to talk about early signs. Did you ever really like have any early signs of like struggling mentally? Were you ever like, dang, I really feel like there's something wrong, like I really want to go see somebody, but because I'm a man or a black man at that, like I don't want to say, it's like, I don't want to use that term frowned upon, but you know how like black men are, like where y'all taught to like be a man, don't
Drink
cry
some water,
about it,
be
respect,
all right.
like keep that, like,
Right. Drink some
just
water,
keep
I'll be
it
all
moving.
right.
So were there any early signs where you were just like, dang, I really want to get the help, but I'm not supposed to, but I can't? And did you turn that into any recreational use? Like, as far as like, did you continue to go into the streets, or at that point were you like, I'm done with it, let's start this, Project Purpose?
Yeah, I don't ever really think nothing. I thought nothing was wrong with me. I mean, because like when I was home, like say, probably since like I was like 15, 16, like I used to smoke PCP sometimes and stuff too. So, and I did it out of thinking my mind was just that strong. Because it was like you hear all these stories about people smoke that stuff, they get naked, and
Yeah.
I remember my older cousin telling me like, man, I know dudes that smoke that stuff. They in the days to this day, this and that. So when it came around, and I was in the situation to smoke something, I was like, man, ain't none of that gonna happen to me. Let me see it. I can't see nothing making me get, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Naked. So trying to say like I always felt my mind was strong, and I did like once when I was coming up and I was in the streets, I did see people I know, people close to me, smoke PCP and eventually lose their mind. They end up being like a shell of themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what kept me away from that. I was like, damn, like you ain't even the same person. Like you can't even hold a through it all, I was still always able to articulate myself, talk. I was doing music, and you know what I'm saying. The music was my way of. I felt like getting us out and saving everybody. Like that was with me that ain't had the talent or thought they did to do something different. So this is the most positive thing we had at the time was like the music. So it was like I'm still going out of town and doing this and shooting videos, trying to make this happen, and but I got locked up first before that can
Before
come
any of
to
that
fruition.
happened.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess like I never really felt like nothing was wrong unless I was like high up. If I was high up, I was like, damn, I'm tripping right now. You know what I'm saying? But I never felt like I never felt like I need to go see
any
a psychiatrist
professional
or a therapist. You know what I mean? I think about it sometimes now because I hear about it more, especially being in this line of work.
Right.
Like I hear about it more, but I just ain't. I ain't really I don't want to say opening up, type like to like strangers like that. Unless we doing something like this, like
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like getting my story out there. I feel like we might help somebody. With
Help
my
somebody
story,
else,
but
yeah.
Me just sitting down with a stranger and they saying like, "What do you think?" I'm gonna just be like, "Nothing." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's like if I'm talking to like a female, somebody close to my family, they ask me like, "You alright?" Like, you look like you been. I'm gonna be like, "Shit, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? I like that. I don't know. I like that. Like you said, I don't know if it's man stuff. I feel like I handle it by myself internally.
Right.
And then because I really feel like I'm going through something and all that. I don't like to be around people and all that. So I like to answer my phone, nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just be, and that's more like thinking about like death and like I'm talking people I lost.
Right.
Sometimes like getting them. Like I just came from a funeral. My little cousin was 5 years old, passed. So like sometimes stuff like that had me down for a minute, but always. I never want to go too far in the rabbit holes where I lose my own mind. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So I always,
Yeah, because mental health comes in like different ways. You have like depression, you have like anxiety, you have like the suicidal thoughts and things like that. At what point were you like, all right, I'm pretty much done with the streets?
basically when I got out this time, so I went into 2011, and I got out 2018. And while I was in there, I basically made the conscious decision. It's like, I ain't got another one of these. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got another 10 years or 20 years. I mean, you know, you got kids. I went in, my daughter was like, she had just turned 8. I came home, she was like 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like, when I was in there, that's really when I was just like, this it. Like, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't do it no more. Like, I gotta find another way. And then I told myself, like, one day I was like really like talking to myself eternally, like not just out loud, but I was thinking to myself to sit in the cell saying, I'm a real hustler though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a drug dealer. A drug dealer only can sell drugs.
Right.
I believe I can sell anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a hustler and I got that type of rapport and like people just they want to get it, so I feel like I'm a hustler. And that's what I told myself, like I had it all wrong. I was out. I just was selling one thing, drugs. I mean, I was selling the music, but if you can sell that, you can sell anything. So I don't gotta sell that. And I started thinking about like this dude, shout out to DC Scorpio, he used to come down to farms and he was a big rap star in DC at one time, like around the world, DC Scorpio. But he used to come, he used to buy weed and stuff, and he used to have his, he used to sell like t-shirts and socks and hats, and, you know what I'm saying? Like black hats. And I was saying like, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? I know what he was doing. And he fell off. He was just like, I got to do something different. Like, so he's selling this stuff. No matter what he's selling, he's getting his money. So that's when I made the conscious decision. I went through a program called RDAP, Residential Drug Abuse Program, which is really not about drugs. It's more about behavior. It's behavior modification. So it's like all the stuff you was thinking all these years, what made you think that? How can we change it? So that helped too. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Now, notice you said that you missed about like 7, 8 years of your child's life because you went in when she was about 8 and you came out when she was about 16. How did that make you feel as a dad? Like, I really sat there and missed 8 years worth of daddy-daughter dances, you know, first boyfriend talks, you know, all those kind of conversations.
Menstrual cycle.
Exactly. And is that when you was really like,
yeah,
dang, I really got to lock in when I come out?
Right. Yeah. I mean, basically, So I had more than one kid, so it's like all of them grew up. They, you know, you watch them grow up through visits. You know what I'm saying? Like you might see them. Say they come on Christmas, then you might see them 4, 5 months later, and they just like they getting bigger every time. Yeah, like they getting bigger, and it's like, dang. You know, you could talk to them, and I write them letters and all that, but man, so they so young. Sometimes like they ain't gonna write back. You know what I'm saying? You might get them on the phone. You might be able to play the game with their cousin. You talking, man, you having a serious conversation. Want to have a heart to heart, man? Would you? And they like, all right, dad, love you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so time just. So it's like, man, I gotta be there for the kids, and then getting out, and then I always talk about this one. When I went to see my daughter, like the first time, like after I got out, it wasn't the first time I seen her, but the first time like we were together, like by ourselves. They came to the halfway house, but I'm saying like months later, I go get her. And we about to go somewhere. I'm taking her to get something to eat, whatever we was, but we crossing the street, her house like on the highway. So I like grab her hand, like, grab her hand. She like, Dad, like, gotta hold my hand across the street, like, I ain't no baby no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the way that hit me, it was just like,
it's like,
damn, I'm like, but you always gonna be my baby though. And she's like, no, I'm just saying you don't gotta hold my hand across the street. Like, but in my mind, she right, like you didn't grow up. You still like 8, 9 years old to me. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like in my
psychologically to
mind,
you.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm gonna make sure you good. We got to cross the street. She
Right.
like, nah, like.
And that was gonna lead me to my next question. Like, what did that do to you psychologically? Like, how did you treat them when you came out? Because, like you said, you know, in your mind, she's 16. Well,
Right.
physically, she's 16, 15,
Right.
with however old she is. But
Yeah.
it's like, dang, you're like 8, 9 years
Yeah,
old. I still gotta
in my
hold your hand. I
mind, yeah.
still gotta heat up
Yeah,
your food for you,
right.
things like that.
So it take a while, you know, to get used to it and kind of accept it in your mind, like the basic time passed you by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still like that with some of my cousins. Like I don't see them as often, you know what I'm saying? But they my cousins, so I was my little cousin, you know what I'm saying? They probably 30 now, you know what I'm saying? But in my mind, y'all just still,
Y'all still
young, you know what I'm saying? Like the little kids I seen running around,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? So yeah, it's all mental warfare, especially like, you know, being in prison and all that. A lot of people don't just come out right. Like a lot of people be in there, they be on all type of medicine to like you said, for anxiety and all that type of stuff, slow them down and all that.
Yeah.
Like I ain't never had to do none of, you know what I mean? None of that.
That's a blessing.
Music kind of was my medicine.
Right.
You feel me? Like music and doing, music for real. That was like my main thing that helped me through it. Exercising, of course.
Right. And that was the longest time that you were locked?
Yeah.
Locked. So how were you able to adjust mentally, physically, spiritually when you came out? Because that's a long time. From 2011 to 2018, you missed so much of life.
Well,
Like, how were
I
you able
kind
to
of used to
adjust?
read. I used to read a lot. So I'm trying to say like, so I kept up with a lot of stuff, but there's nothing like actually, you know, getting into your hand and seeing it. Like Instagram and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Instagram and Uber Eats. So it took a while to just adjust to being out here, but I kind of, you know, when you come home, they put you in a halfway house for that reason, so you can kind of, so you just don't be like pushed back out there.
Pushed back
so they
into
put you in a
work.
halfway house, so you still under kind of federal regulations. Like you gotta go to work or something. You gotta come back by a certain time. You gotta fill out all this paperwork when you gonna go out on the weekend and all. You know what I mean? You gotta. So that kind of helped a little bit. So at that time, I'm basically just easing my way back in. You know what I'm saying? Easing my way back into my family life and all that type of stuff. But I don't think it wasn't really that hard to adjust. It was more hard trying to figure out what I do next, like what I'm gonna do now. Like now you hear this where the rubber meet the road at, like how you gonna get some money? You know what I'm saying? Like how you gonna support your kids and your family? Like so that was kind of that was the hardest part, basically finding which way to go. You know, you trying all these odd jobs. I did a job in construction. Like when I came home, and the way the white dude was talking, man, he was like, I said, I can't do this. Like, he said, hey, new guy, if I wanted some commentary from you, I would let you know. I was like, what? Like, who the man?
Who you feeling like?
Yeah, like, man. So it's like that type stuff. You got to kind of try to bite it. And I was like, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. So, you know, you just got to find a way, a medium. But I think it's more important to be able to take your time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you got that type of support system where you can take your time and, you know, because a lot of people feel rushed when they get out here. They might not have that support system. So immediately they need their own stuff, like money and somewhere to stay and this and that. And that's usually what makes somebody go back to some of their old ways. Like, all right, I went to this job, they denied me. I went to this job, they denied me. I got on this job, I got fired in a month. F it, I'm tired of trying. You see what I'm saying? And they lose their patience.
And I will say that a lot of the times I feel like jail or prison, it is kind of like some type of stability for those individuals because it's like, all right, I don't got to do nothing but wake up, shower, eat, make a couple phone calls, go outside, and I'm back at it. Like nobody's holding you responsible. You don't have to get up and go to work. You ain't got to pay those bills. So
people sending you money. You know what I mean? Like people
so it's
sending
kind
you
of
money all the
like,
time.
all right, I got it.
So you get used to that. You get out and you're still asking for money. Like, asking that girl, you gonna get $40? Like, oh, you're not in no more, man. You gotta go get your own. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So we know that you're a owner of Project Purpose. What made you want to start that? At what point during that time frame? Was this always something that was in the back of your mind? Was it something that you wanted to start once you got out and you tried everything like the construction, you know, working a regular job? I know that you guys have a lot of programs. I know that you guys have therapy, you guys have the cooking class. So how did those classes come about? So that how were you able to give back to your community?
So for the first question, it was something that I thought of when I was in. I used to think about helps them get back to the community. But also, like one of my things I wanted to do was be a speaker. You know what I'm saying? I want to go around the world sharing my story. Because when people used to graduate from the drug program, it always be, they got a outside speaker that comes in and speak to the class. You know what I'm saying? So I used to always look at them like, I could do that. You see what I'm saying? Like I can go around and, so yeah, that was one space. But then, far as like I said, all the odd jobs, I actually worked for a couple nonprofits before. You see what I'm saying? And then me and Presto, when we used to be around doing music, we used to talk about, you know, like the situation he was in, how he worked around, kind of in the same rooms. You know what I mean? And some of the work I did, then, you know, we used to have this and that. They should do it this way, that way. And it was like, we should just do our own thing. You know what I mean? Like, and eventually, that day came. Like I said, the rubber meet the road. Press call, like, man, what's up? We can do it. This how we can take the first steps to do about it. And I was like, all right, let's run it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see where it go. And it started to like help people coming home, or people in our communities that needed help, like getting jobs and all that type of stuff. Just stuff we was doing with other organizations. And we felt like for me, being as though I've been in, and I've been in the streets for so long, I'm talking about like doing the wrong thing. I know a lot of people that's in and come home and all this, when they see me, they be like, especially now, they be like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can help me get a job? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do this. I just came home. You think you can point me in the right direction? I see what you're doing. So that was motivation to do it. And then the program, some of the programs, they just actually just grow. Like opportunity might present itself, and we might be like, I mean, that's what we do, help people. So it's like we might can help somebody in that space. This little kid might want to be a cook. You know what I'm saying? They might want to swim. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you know might need therapy. You feel me? Like
or want to do y'all music classes.
Right.
And I really like the fact that it's not tailored around adults only. I like the fact that it's like, you know, the kids as well, because a lot of the kids that I've seen in the programs, they are at that age, and you know, with the world being so tuned to those phones with tablets, computers, they're very impressionable. So the fact that, you know, you guys have those programs where it's like, no, you're not going outside this weekend with that boy and that girl. You're going to come to the cook class, or you're going to do the music class, or no, you have swim after school, or whatever the case is. So I really do like applaud you guys for having that mixture, that, you know, that crowd to, you know, help each and every single person.
We appreciate you too, man. Yes, thank you, man. You know, we know you're gonna do some wonderful things behind these cameras, and you know what I'm saying. Like even with your passion and doing whatever, you know, doing what you do, like that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We try to help people find their purpose, project purpose. You feel me? So
So what's next for BDR?
Well, next I got a book. I wrote a book called Hustler Spirit, the Hustler's Handbook. It's 10 rules, the stuff I learned in my life with hustling. And that'll be out March 26th. It's already out now, ebook. If you got Kindle 5 something, you can check it out. But I had hard copies, and you can order it on Amazon March 26th. So that's next.
Got it. And what's one piece of advice you would give to somebody who's, you know, in the streets trying to figure it out? You know, they don't really have, you know, as much of a good support system that you have. What's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Get some money and do something positive with it, or start redirecting yourself. Now, have an exit strategy and get out of the streets, because it don't last forever. It's a true saying. It's not made up that it's only death or jail that can come. You know what I'm saying? So plan an exit strategy and try to get in there. You know what I'm saying? You can get out. Trust me. You feel me?
Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for telling your story with myself and the world who's watching. Thank you so much for tuning into After the Cell Mental Health Beyond Bars. See you on the next episode.